Watch before deleted. Can you handle the truth? She whispered. I felt my breath stop. HFY read it. Elias Rowe never meant to see the file. He worked the night shift at the Global Archive Facility, a quiet building buried under layers of concrete and security outside Geneva. His job was simple and boring. He checked data integrity, confirmed deletion logs, and made sure nothing corrupted survived longer than it should. Humanity believed information control was safety. Elias believed it was just routine. That night felt normal at first. The lights hummed softly. Rows of servers breathed warm air. Outside, the world slept while machines remembered for it. Then the alert appeared. It was not loud, not dramatic, just a small red symbol blinking on his screen, marked with a code he had never seen before. The tag read, Priority Omega, immediate delete, no human review. Elias frowned. No human review made no sense. Humans reviewed everything. Even automated systems had oversight. He checked the timestamp. The file had entered the system less than 3 seconds ago and was already scheduled to be erased across every mirror, backup, and quantum cache on Earth. Someone or something wanted it gone instantly. Elias hesitated. He should have let it delete. That was the rule. But curiosity had always been his quiet weakness. He justified it the way he always did, just a checksum, just a glance to confirm corruption. He opened the file. The screen went black for half a second. Then a video began to play. At first, Elias thought it was fake. The image quality was too clean, too sharp. The room in the video was circular, metallic, lit by a pale blue glow that did not come from any lamp he recognized. Strange symbols drifted faintly across the walls, moving like slow fish. 2 figures stood in the center. One was human. The other was not. The alien was tall and thin, its skin a soft gray that reflected the blue light. Its eyes were large and dark, unblinking. Its body language was tense, shoulders pulled inward, long fingers clasped tightly together. The human woman faced it calmly. She looked ordinary in the most unsettling way. Dark hair tied back, simple clothing, no visible weapons. Her expression was serious but not afraid. Audio crackled. They were never supposed to see this, the alien said. Its voice was smooth but strained, translated instantly into English. If this leaks, the Accord will collapse. It was the agreement that allowed Earth to exist without interference, or so everyone believed. Humans were considered a minor species, protected but irrelevant. The alien shook its head slowly. You promised. You all promised to stay quiet. For a brief, chilling moment, Elias felt like it could see him. If humans remember, it said, there will be panic, wars, billions will die. Can you handle the truth? He slammed commands into the terminal, rerouting the file into an isolated buffer, one that pretended to be empty. The countdown stuttered. 4 seconds. He severed the buffer from the main network. 3 seconds. He copied the file into a private encrypted partition hidden inside outdated archival logs. 2 seconds. The main system confirmed deletion. 1 second. The alert vanished. The archive returned to silence. Elias sat back, shaking. His heart hammered so hard it hurt. Sweat dampened his shirt. On the screen, the system showed a clean report. The file no longer existed, officially. Elias swallowed and stared at the hidden partition. Against every rule, every warning, he had saved it. What did I just do? He whispered. He replayed the video, slower this time, frame by frame. He studied the alien's posture, the room, the strange symbols. He focused on the woman. There was something about her that felt wrong, not dangerous. Just heavy, like she carried more weight than one person should. He paused on her face just before she spoke the whisper. Her eyes, they held certainty, not fear, not doubt, certainty. Elias leaned back and laughed softly, a nervous sound. This has to be fake, he said to the empty room. Some kind of test. Requests written in encryption styles Elias had never seen, elegant and terrifyingly precise. Someone else was looking for the file. Elias locked down his station and checked the facility cameras. Everything looked normal. Guards walked their routes. No alarms sounded. The world above continued sleeping, unaware that something had changed. He stood and paced, mind racing. If the video was real, then humanity had been lied to on a massive scale. If it was fake, then someone had gone to impossible lengths to create it and erase it instantly. Either way, he was now involved. His console chimed softly. An incoming message appeared, bypassing every security layer. No delete requested. Another line appeared. You were not supposed to see it. Elia's screen filled with stars, not a map but a memory. He saw vast structures drifting between galaxies, machines older than civilizations, systems designed not to conquer but to contain. He saw humans standing among aliens as equals, as leaders, as something more. Then it was gone. Elias collapsed into his chair, gasping. His hands shook violently. That wasn't possible, he whispered. Humans barely left their own system. Not a command, not a signal, a choice. The Guardian watched through unseen eyes as probability changed just slightly. The lie had held for thousands of years. It was never meant to break like this, but humans had always been unpredictable. On Elia's screen, the final message appeared. Watch carefully. He knew with sudden terrifying clarity that his old life was over. He was no hero, no soldier, just a man who archived data. But now he carried a truth powerful enough to shake the galaxy. And somewhere, deep beneath layers of forgotten code and sleeping machines, humanity was beginning to remember. Elias did not sleep. The archive facility remained quiet, but his mind refused to slow down. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw stars folding into strange shapes, machines larger than moons, and humans standing calmly among beings that should have terrified them. The images felt like memories that did not belong to him, yet they clung to his thoughts with stubborn weight. He sat at his terminal, lights dimmed, hands wrapped around a cup of cold coffee. The hidden file stayed open in a small corner of the screen, frozen on the woman's face. She looked unchanged, untouched by time or fear. Watching her felt like standing in front of a locked door, knowing something powerful waited on the other side. Elias checked the system logs again. More access attempts had appeared overnight. None matched any known species' signatures in the database. They came and went like cautious footsteps, testing defenses, pulling back before triggering alarms. They're looking for you, Elias murmured to the file. As if in response, a new message appeared on his screen. You should not stay there. If I disappear, they'll notice. If I leave, what happens to the file? His hands shook as he copied the hidden file onto it. The transfer finished without error. At the same moment, the facility lights brightened sharply. Footsteps echoed down the corridor outside. Voices followed, calm but urgent. Archive Station 7. Elias Rowe, please remain where you are. Two security officers stepped inside, followed by a woman in a gray suit. Her expression was polite, controlled, and cold. Mr. Rowe, she said, you're being reassigned effective immediately. I followed procedure. System malfunction, the woman snapped. This is not scheduled. The facility's emergency systems struggled to correct themselves, doors opening and closing out of sequence. Elias slipped through, guided by instincts that felt borrowed. He burst out into the cold night air, lungs burning. Snow crunched under his shoes as he ran toward the perimeter fence. A section of it sagged, power flickering. He squeezed through just as spotlights snapped on behind him. He did not stop running until his legs gave out. Hours later, Elias sat in the back of a freight transport heading east. He had paid cash, asked no questions. The driver never looked at him twice. Elias stared out at the dark countryside, trying to understand how fast his world had fallen apart. Guardian, he whispered under his breath. If you're still there, I need answers. He saw something breaking, not violently but silently, like a crack spreading through glass. And he saw humans, not conquerors, not saviors, engineers, mediators, problem solvers who noticed patterns others missed. Humans who learned too quickly, adapted too well, and frightened the galaxy by accident. You fixed it, Elias murmured. Yes. Humans arguing among themselves. some wanting to guide the galaxy openly, others warning that power would only lead to endless dependence and fear, a decision made heavy and painful. "We erased ourselves," Elias said softly. "You chose to step back. Because humans change when they know what they are." News feeds began reporting strange diplomatic tensions, alien signals detected near human space, emergency meetings held in orbit. Humanity was noticing. One evening in a small rented room, Elias replayed the video again. This time something new appeared, a hidden layer unlocking as if waiting for him. The woman spoke again, her voice steady. "If you're seeing this clearly," she said, "then the lie is failing faster than expected. That's on us, not you. You want me to go there?" Scientists noticed equations resolving in ways they shouldn't. Engineers dreamed of solutions they couldn't explain. Old prototypes suddenly worked when before they had failed. Humanity was not remembering everything, but it was remembering enough. Elias packed his things. The truth weighed heavy in his pocket, light as a shard of glass, sharp enough to cut worlds. He was still afraid. Still human, but he understood something now. The galaxy had not protected humanity because it was weak. It had protected humanity because it was afraid of what humans chose to become when they stopped hiding. And the watching was almost over. Elias stood at the edge of the launch platform, staring at the ship that was supposed to carry him beyond everything he knew. It did not look like any human vessel he had seen before. The hull was smooth and dark, shaped like a stretched curve rather than sharp angles. No visible engines, no markings. It felt less built and more grown. He had followed the coordinates exactly. A forgotten spaceport officially abandoned decades ago. No guards, no cameras, just silence and the waiting ship. "You're sure this will work?" Elias said quietly. The familiar pressure answered him, steady and calm. "It has always worked." No control panels, just a circular chamber with a single seat in the center. Elias sat down, the ship moved. There was no jolt, no feeling of acceleration. The stars outside stretched briefly, then settled into unfamiliar patterns. Elias' stomach tightened, but the pressure in his head soothed the panic before it could grow. "Where are we going?" he asked. "A place humans once built." Then he realized it was structured. Vast arcs of light and shadow curved around a central void. Massive constructs drifted in perfect balance, each larger than Earth's largest stations. Energy flowed between them like slow rivers. "This is," Elias struggled for words, "a safeguard." As it approached, Elias saw movement. Ships, many ships. Alien designs of every shape and size formed uneasy lines around the construct, weapons charged but not firing. "They're all here," Elias whispered. "Yes." Others wore robes marked with symbols of authority. The room fell silent when Elias entered. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Many eyes fixed on him, some with anger, some with fear, a few with something like relief. "He's human," someone hissed. "So the rumors are true," another voice said. A tall alien stepped forward, its form elegant and severe. "Why is a human here?" it demanded. "This place is forbidden." The crowd reacted instantly. Some stepped back, others bowed without realizing they were doing it. "Enough," she said calmly. Her voice carried across the chamber without effort. "The lie has run its course. You did well to come. The collapse that nearly ended us all. You remember who stopped it. Saving civilizations that never knew how close they came to ending everything. We never ruled you," the Guardian said. "We protected all of you. And when we saw what our presence did, how it made you rely, how it made you afraid, we chose to step away. We return because the balance is breaking." "He is proof," she said. "Proof that humans can carry truth without becoming monsters." The tall alien looked panicked. "If this place wakes fully." "And it responds only to one thing." He took a slow breath. "We don't want control," Elias said, his voice steady. "We want responsibility, shared, open, no more lies." Because hiding only made it worse. And the galaxy was watching. Elias stood at the center of the chamber, surrounded by beings who had spent centuries fearing what humans might become. The weight of their expectations pressed on him, yet he felt a strange calm. He had carried the truth across the galaxy, survived the chase, and now faced the moment where the lie would finally unravel. The Guardian stepped beside him. Her presence alone commanded silence, yet she did not speak. She simply watched as Elias lifted his hands, unsure if they would tremble, but they did not. He took a deep breath, letting the calm settle in his chest. "Humans," he said, "we do not return to rule. We return to remember, to remind you all why balance matters, and to remind ourselves why we stepped away. We chose restraint before, not weakness, and we choose it now. We do not take, we do not command, we simply remember, and we offer guidance where it is asked. And humans know this. We learned the cost of ignorance, the danger of arrogance. We remember so that you might avoid mistakes we once made." They were not weapons, but systems. Ancient human systems built to maintain balance, to prevent chaos, to correct mistakes before they became disasters. "They are responding to your presence," the Guardian said softly. "Not because you command them, but because you are human, because you remember." He realized something remarkable. Humans had built these safeguards not for conquest, but for protection. And now, without even trying, humanity's choice alone had stabilized the region. An alien voice broke the silence. "Then you are the guardians we feared and admired. We want only understanding. Humans remember, and that is enough to restore balance. The choice is yours to make public or keep within these walls. Humanity does not seek dominance. We never did. We only seek understanding, and we choose to protect, not rule. This is our truth. This is why we stepped away. And this is why we must now stand together, with all of you to guide, not command, the galaxy toward safety." Ships outside adjusted their positions in harmony. The constructs responded, not with violence but with alignment, their energy flowing evenly across space, calming turmoil. Elias realized something astonishing. Humanity's restraint had always been its strength. Their ability to choose not to dominate had allowed civilizations to flourish. The galaxy had feared them not because of their aggression, but because humans had the power to act and chose not to. The Guardian smiled almost imperceptibly. "You have done more than survive," she said. "You have reminded the galaxy why humanity matters. You have reminded them and yourselves what true strength looks like. Relief, yes, but more than that. Pride tempered by humility. He was not a conqueror, he was a messenger, and the galaxy had listened. A council member, a small insectoid alien, stepped forward. "Then let us begin anew," it said. "Not as rulers and subjects, but as partners, as equals guided by understanding and responsibility." For the first time, Elias felt the weight lift, not because the danger was gone, but because the galaxy had chosen to embrace a new way forward. Outside the chamber, beyond the stars and the constructs, humans on Earth began to notice small changes. Ideas sparked in minds once dull. Dreams carried solutions. Inventions appeared that had once been impossible. Humanity was awakening, not as tyrants or conquerors, but as guides ready to use knowledge wisely. Elias turned to the Guardian. "What happens now?" he asked. "Now," she said softly, "you watch, you guide when asked, and you remember, humanity's role is not to control but to protect, and that is enough." The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and chaotic, yet humans had a place within it, a role earned not by force but by choice, wisdom, and restraint. The Guardian faded into the shadows, leaving Elias standing alone in the center of the chamber. He looked at the gathered aliens, at the glowing constructs, at the calm star fields beyond the walls, and understood fully. Humanity had never been weak. It had simply chosen to be wise, and the galaxy had noticed. Elias smiled, a quiet, confident smile. Humanity would not rule the stars, but it would shape them, not with fear, not with violence, but with the steady, enduring power of choice, understanding, and restraint. The whisper from the video echoed in his mind one last time. "Can you handle the truth?" And now the galaxy could too. Elias turned to the viewport, staring at the stars. The constructs pulsed softly, ships realigned, and distant worlds awaited their guidance. Humanity's time had come, not as conquerors, but as protectors, architects, and reminders of what true strength could be. And somewhere deep within the hidden archives, the forgotten systems hummed with life, responding to humanity's choice once more. The lie had ended, the truth had awakened, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Elias breathed in slowly, feeling the weight of centuries on his shoulders and the hope of what centuries might still bring. Humanity had returned, not to rule, not to dominate, but to remember and to protect, and that was enough.